First item of business is public hearing. It's 7:05. The public hearing is here in regard to the final review of the 2010 Community Development Block Grant under the Texas Community Development Block Grant Program for the Texas Department of Rural Affairs. The purpose of this meeting is to allow citizens an opportunity to discuss, review the program performance of activities completed under this grant, which would include an explanation of the actual use of the Texas Community Development Block Grant Program funds. And we have with us Ms. Odom. I'll open up the floor for any comments. Again, the time is 7:05. So, do you want to make a presentation? Yeah. That's strictly up to you.
My name is Kelly Odom. I'm with Lancer Community Management Services. This was a 2010 grant that you were awarded from the Community Development Block Grant Program. You made improvements at your wastewater treatment plant on Goliad Street to address operational issues. You constructed a new headwork structure, RAS, WAS pump station, a new effluent pump station, sludge-to-watering facilities, and associated appurtenances. You were awarded it in September 2010, and you finished it as scheduled. Everything went according to schedule. If there's any questions, it is required to have a public hearing at the end of a project to let the community know what was done with the grant funds.
Any comments, any questions for Ms. Odom? Yes, ma'am. The dollars involved?
There was a $250,000 grant award. These funds come from HUD, Housing and Urban Development.
Any questions, any comments? If not, the public hearing is now closed. It's 7:08. Next public hearing. Public hearing is in regard to allow the property owner of 1002 6th Street, Floresville, Texas, being Epifanio Lopez or Amanda Lopez or any other legal owner of said property to show cause why the structure should not be declared a nuisance or dangerous structure, and show cause why he or she should not be ordered to vacate, repair, or destroy the structure. Time is now 7:08. Any comments from the public?
Can you tell us what structure that might be, or
It's on the corner of 6th and the alley. What is that alley? Trail.
Trail?
Yes.
Okay.
Mayor, he has to come on the 29th.
I'm sorry?
According to the paper, he has to come on the 29th. There's going to be a meeting or something.
Cindy?
Mayor, if I may give a timeline
Sure.
of what this is going
Sure.
on
Go ahead.
with this project. Mayor, council, and to the citizens of Floresville, to give you a timeline of what's going on with this property. The last known date when this residence was occupied was in May 2010. We sent the first letter notifying the owner of the property that City Hall would begin the process on June the 4th, 2012, via certified mail. It was sent back to us due to no forward address. Posted in the Wilson County News on two circulations dated June 13, 2012 and June 19, 2012. The posting was to inform the property owners or its agents an inspection from the city on June 21st will be conducted. We did do the inspection on June 21st, and these were the following things we found. We found that the porch was difficult to walk through. The floors in the house were warped and deteriorated. Had to be careful to walk, and we had to walk through the support beams of the floor. The walls and ceilings were weak from decay, wood, and materials. Electrical is not to code. There was no independent ground wire. We found that the electrical panels have been stripped. The kitchen counters and the sinks have been torn apart. With the lot itself, there's overgrown grass, trash, and debris, old mattresses that are in the house, which may have bringing in pests, bed bugs, and other bugs. Health hazards could be due to the pests, animals, rodents to habitat the property. It also attracts vagrants or homeless people. There have been numerous police reports of illegal activity in this lot. On June 22nd, 27th and June 4th. We did have one person come into City Hall, and actually they called us on July 9, 2012 to inquire about the property. They came to my office on the following day to ask what he could do to save their life. Posted in the Wilson County News, a notice of hearing on July 26th was posted, went out in the July 18th and 25th circulation. I have contacted the individual who wants to do something with the lot, but his contact number was disconnected today.
Who owns the property now?
It's under, according to the tax rolls, the appraisal office records, it shows that Cristiano Lopez and Ramona Lopez.
Is that the son or the father?
That's actually the father and his, I believe, his wife is deceased.
So the father's still living?
Yes, sir, I believe so. And since we cannot communicate to the owners via certified mail, this is why we do the postings in the paper to let them know.
Is everything up to date as far as taxes are concerned?
I do not have that information. Now, just to kind of keep the council and mayor and their citizens, the next step, according to chapter 150, 60, section A, the city council will make a decision to the effect that the unoccupied residence of the building is in fact a nuisance and dangerous building, or not. The judgment shall further contend in order to have the property either repaired to meet the city code or remove and tear down the structure. The removal shall be completed within a reasonable time, not to exceed 45 calendar days. If the owner has failed to comply with the order to repair or remove, then the city can and have it removed without delay, and the expenses are charged against the owner. Failure to pay the statement of the expenses, the city will place a lien on the property.
If you went to the tax office to see whether they're behind or up to date, and chances that they might have a separate address or who's been paying on it?
The information that I have comes from the tax office, which they give to the appraisal office. And that's the last known information.
It says here that has the son been looked at? I mean, can he look at it, or is it just his father and mother that can? Because like I said, his mother's
It
deceased.
could be the property owners or an authorized agent of the property.
Are we requiring just one public hearing, Cindy?
Yes.
But once we declare this today, or not, that doesn't mean immediate action is taken. We give them another timeline.
We give them 30 days?
45 days?
45 days.
45 days. Any comments from neighbors or citizens around the area? Yes, sir.
I'm the one that brought this up, Mayor, about 10 months ago, and luckily, something is finally getting done. But I've been addressing Cindy for 10 months on this issue.
Yes.
And sir, and I wanted to answer Mr. Gonzalez that yes, he did come to our office and he has made calls to us. I did get with the owner's son of the property, and he had told me that he was working on getting it cleaned and repairing.
But I mean, this is what, when I go in citizens input, this is what I'm going to address. The person can come and tell you, I'm working on it, I'm working on it, and I'm working on it, and nothing ever gets done.
Come on up. Come on up.
Well, I mean, that's not my term. It's
Well,
somebody-
okay, I'll call you up under new business. Any other comments? If not, the public hearing is closed at 7:15. The old business council, we have minutes from July the 10th in our packet here. Let's take a moment to review those minutes, make any changes that are necessary, then let's have a motion for approval.
to Floresville.
Is there a second to that? Motion by Guerrero, second by Castillo to approve the minutes as presented for July the 10th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, I vote to approve the minutes as presented. 2-0-2, and I break the tie. Okay, same action on July the 12th, regular meeting.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes from July 12th, regular meeting as presented.
Motion by Flores, second by Gomez to approve July 26th as presented. I'm sorry, July 12th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries 4-0. Mr. Robles, you want to talk to us about the Veterans Affairs, Foreign Affairs?
Yes, Mayor, it's not as fair as, VFW. Veterans of foreign wars.
Okay.
I don't know who's thinking about Paris, but it's foreign wars.
Yeah, I just have to make sure that.
Anyway, what it is, Mayor, that I would like to start a VFW here in Floresville. I'm a veteran myself, and I know there's a lot of veterans in Floresville, and it would help the community
Yes, sir.
in different ways. It might not help the city, but it would help the community as far as, for schools, before school starts, even other veterans, even spouses, doing things to get the city of Floresville a bit more proactive and get more people into the city.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that can happen.
How can we lend you support, sir? What can we do to help you?
Right now, what I'm just trying to do is, I have 60 days to get, 35 veterans. 35 veterans, and once I get 35 veterans, then we can go ahead and start, appointing, commanders and, quartermasters and take it from there. So right now, I don't need no support. All that I need is just, I just want a courtesy that you know that we're gonna do this and we're gonna, push it forward.
Okay.
Because I think that, a lot of people here, families need money for kids, and we can do that by buying supplies and stuff like that in the schools and stuff before we start school.
Well, thank you for taking this on, sir.
Well, it's my job as a veteran, and that's why we all see that, all the veterans see it that way. It's our job to help each other's brothers and sisters.
If there's anything we can help you, from the city standpoint, feel free to contact us.
Thank you.
Mr. Robles, I think, having said that, I think that, maybe we should make, if you do have some type of drop-off, I'm pretty sure you can get with Mr. Joslin or someone here and make a drop-off for school supplies here within the city hall.
Well, right now, we're gonna have them the first, we're gonna have a meeting, we don't, the VFW is not organized at all yet. I'm still talking up there national there in Austin and higher, and that's what we do right now, trying to organize it. I have the region manager from Corpus Christi helping out also, so that's the thing, and that's, we're trying to get some veterans that are going all the way to San Antonio for meetings and stuff, which they can attend here. And that's what it is. I'm a member of Post 76 downtown, and it's about 30-mile round trip. But we have some veterans that have a lot of problems, and they don't have nobody to talk to, because a lot of people just don't understand what they're coming from. And that was one for a long time, obviously.
Now, there's no VFW in Polk, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is that the only one in the county? Do you know?
I should know. I never been there.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, anything we can help you with.
thank you.
All right, another discussion, the Floresville City Cemetery. Mr. Russell, are you back in charge, Mr. Russell?
I think so. Anyway, I had a nice little note to put the county news, but they weren't able to work me in. I think they put Jim Miller in it, possibly. Anyway, there's not a big demand for the job, but I'm so thrilled. And really, honestly, the reason I'm back is because I was gonna move to Austin, St. Peter resigned 2 or 3 months ago.
it's exciting for the things that are happening here in Floresville.
The city cemetery is very disappointing. I was out there this afternoon. And stuff's growing. They'll go mow a while. They'll mow a little bit and everything. Whether it's one or two things. One is you just, I don't know that, you just don't have enough help to get that job done. And, but now the water supply is okay all over the place. The people have already, I turned one hydrant off this morning. I mean, probably, they leave it on all night. Does two things, wasting water and a gravestone, big gravestone will leave to the side and everything. So, I mean, there's some, and I'll get with the city manager on it. Those are the three things that I think need immediate attention. You know, we'll talk more. I wanna have a special program on, try again on, November 11th, Veterans Day, and then a big blast on the Memorial Day next year. That's all I have for now.
You know, I think, we were talking about some, line item, we do have a line item. So actually, it's one of our budget items, and I hope that, we do enough for you. I'll just give you a heads up, budget's not completed yet, but it's one of our line items.
Bad news, I'm gonna have more time to complain.
The city of Monica are actually working on a project. Some of these cemeteries that the Cemetery Association is dealing with, the city does not own. And that's one of the things. So we're in the process of finding out who the owners of these cemeteries are, and if they were supposed to have been deeded to the city or would like to be deeded to the city, what the history is on them. But like the Canary Islander Cemetery, it's not actually a city-owned cemetery. And so that's where some of those roadblocks come in, just to let you know. It is a project that Cindy and Monica have been working on getting the information on all of the cemeteries in the city.
Well, that's good. Well, I knew part of our problem with communication, so I think that'll help just a whole, I know it'll help me.
Right,
So
it's
that
good,
way I put
and
my,
I believe Ms. Miles is also helping with getting all of the information together, on the cemeteries, and we're trying to work with the historical commission to try to find out who the owners are to make it known.
Other than that, fence is almost done, Mr. Russell.
did you, also, you know, Saturday I was 82 years old.
Well, happy birthday, sir.
And you were out of the whole civic center, there were 2,000 people on it, you were the only spoke to. I don't know what that's
We
about.
gotta stick together sometimes. I think you're the only one who spoke to me also. Yes, sir, Mr. Russell.
Mayor, talking about cemeteries, that's the old cemetery up by the river. I went and cleaned it up about a month ago.
The one, which one is that one? De la Serna? The one by the river?
Yes, somebody's been using for target practice back
Oh,
there,
yes.
cut a bunch of holes,
Yep.
and I went and cut some grass, but, I went back about 2 weeks later, and somebody went and done some trash up there. And, you know, it makes me kind of mad because, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
Is it these spots full of trash or what, you know?
And that's a pretty spot right there by the river.
But there's a lot of traffic going back in there, and maybe he shouldn't leave up there, because I've been seeing a lot of traffic going back there, and I don't know what they're doing back there, but.
All right, thank you. All right, new business, consideration and action to declare the property at 1002 6th Street a nuisance with a dangerous building, and to order the property owners or any other legal owner of said property to vacate, repair, or destroy the structure. Mr. Gonzalez, do you want to say a few words?
On that particular building?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Only thing I can say, I've been asking Cindy since October of last year, and I'm glad that she finally did something. You know, because every time I come, only the answer I get, it takes time, and, you know, I'm working on it. So I just hope that she follows through and gets something done, because, I mean, it's a nuisance. It's been like that forever. The owner of the home is in a nursing home, and no one takes care of it. It's boarded up, the windows are all broke, weeds are 6 foot tall. It's really an eyesore. I live there.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And I mean, but at least, I want to say she got on it, being that it was 10 months.
Yeah.
You know, but again, it shouldn't take 10 months.
And
look at
that
the-
probably is, honestly, Mr. Gonzalez, it's probably, that's probably a fast turnaround time.
You think so? Well,
Yes, sir.
according to the ordinances, you write them a letter, and if they're not there and they don't get the if you look at the ordinance, but I mean, main thing, that building has got to go.
It does. I agree. Any other discussion? Yes, sir.
Mayor, it's also talking about that, it also makes the property value go down too, because people are trying to buy some houses and stuff like that, and they can't get the money they're asking for because there's trash all the way around like in his case.
No, all that is in the ordinance right here.
Yep.
I asked Fonda to give you all a copy, I don't know if y'all have one.
Yes.
No, I think George had another,
Well, and I also have,
not related to this, but maybe two houses down, so I don't know whether that would be appropriate time.
No, it has to be regarding 1002 Sixth
okay,
Street.
that's,
Yeah,
and I have on some other issues that nothing's been done.
okay.
Whenever it's my turn.
Okay, sir.
It doesn't look like
Any other
there's been
discussion,
any
council?
tax
Or
rolls
not?
on it.
Looking at these pictures, I mean.
It doesn't look like there's been any tax rolls. Looks like they've been paid.
Somebody's paying the taxes?
So it looks like, so I would confirm.
So then they're more than likely getting the notices then. They're not being returned, so?
And they are being
They are
returned,
being returned.
unable to forward the address, and that's why we do the postings in the papers.
What do you say? Do you know the son?
I know the center, I'll let the center.
Okay.
But gee, but there's somewhere. That's a good question, somewhere. You know, because it's been in the paper, and if they don't pay attention to the paper, you can't babysit them and follow them all day long.
Any discussion with the council? Mr. Rosenberg?
Mr. Mayor, if you would, the item that you have in front of you, the pictures that Ms. Cindy's been kind enough to take, we could have them made a part of the record and a copy made available to the press, Cindy, so everybody can see what the condition of the house is before you act.
Margaret, could you put these in our minutes, please? Any further discussion, council? Your recommendation, Luke?
Is proceed on this and take advantage of giving the full 45-day notice before we do anything.
Recommendation by council is to declare the property a nuisance. And
We'll
proceed
make
with-
an effort to make an extraordinary effort to get the notice to the right people.
and to proceed with the 45-day notice.
I make a motion to declare the property of 1002 Sixth Street a nuisance with a dangerous building, and to order the property owners or other legal owner of said property to vacate, repair, or destroy the structure.
I second.
Motion by Flores, second by Guerrero, to declare the property of 1002 Sixth Street a nuisance. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, motion carries 4-0. Okay, next item, item 4B, consideration and action to ratify resolutions authorizing financing agreements with the Government Capital Corporation to refinance certain debts and for the enhancement and/or expansion of parks and sports facilities for the benefit of the community of Floresville, as agreed and negotiated by the Floresville Economic Development Corporation. On Monday night, the Floresville Economic Development Corporation met. They voted unanimously to support funding, as a motion or the agenda reads, enhancement of parks and sports facilities. We have with us Tara Chumley with Government Capital, and also Sarah Mendoza, President of EDC. Tara, do you want to give a short presentation regarding how the financing works and tell us about the corporation? Did I catch you off guard?
Hello.
Hello?
I'm Tara Chumley with Government Capital, and we have been working with EDCs and cities across the nation for over 20 years, and specifically in Texas, since we're from Texas. I just wanted to let everyone know what the EDC did is utilize their authority to enter into financing, and it is basically to fulfill
sales tax rate increasing?
No, sales tax rate's not increasing, property tax rate's not increasing. This is all being taken out of existing rents.
So a customer goes to Walmart and buys something starting after this deal gets done, they're not gonna see a price difference in the goods that they buy at the store.
No, definitely not, no. Not unless Walmart jacked it.
Yeah.
Price increases are up to Walmart.
Okay, I'm gonna open up the floor for citizens' input. Johaz, I'm gonna,
You did better last.
Joanne Johaz. Juhas. What's a J?
Yeah, it's Hungarian, you just gotta forget.
It's like Tejada. Yes.
Tara, I also for 30 years did mortgage loans, commercial loans, and installment loans. And also worked for Broadway Bank for a period of time here, so I do have some questions.
Okay.
When you mentioned about, the information, as far as the interest rate, you said that was going to be a variable rate,
Yes.
and it's 5 years. And right now, we're experiencing a wonderfully low rate as far as interest.
Right.
However, with a variable rate, in 34 years of banking, I saw a variable rate go down once.
Right.
With rates already low, after 5 years, what is the cap on the variable rate that it can go up?
That's under negotiation.
And it's under negotiation based on what?
Just, it's on the 5-year treasuries is what we're using right now.
Okay, so you can't tell the citizens for sure, after 5 years, what the rate could be, or if the city, or if FEDC can still afford to make that payment.
I cannot tell you what the rate's gonna be in 5 years anymore than.
Okay.
No, I cannot.
And after 25 years, is there a cap on how high the rate can actually be extended?
After 25 years, it'll be paid off.
Right, but for that 25 period, usually there's a cap of like, you
Joanne,
start
that's-
out at 4%.
That's 1 minute, I'm sorry.
Okay, you start out, if I can just finish this question, you start out at 5%, let's say, and it can't exceed 15%. Do you have a cap on that?
I do not have a cap on that.
Thank you.
Peter Johaz.
The other side of the coin.
Juhas.
Just to continue along that line, what happens if the FEDC defaults? Who's obligated to pay the loan?
The sales tax is pledged to repay
But-
the loan.
Ultimately, someone has to come up with the money, correct?
It's
I mean,
only-
the city has, someone has got to be obligated to pay the loan.
No,
That's
it's a
all I
budget
have,
revenue
that's all I have to say on that. The thing that I would like to ask is the group here is that, you know, under the Floresville master plan, the high priority, which is published on your website, the high priority issue on there was the wastewater treatment upgrade, as I remember seeing under high priority, to accommodate future growth. There were 17 streets that needed repair in red, that were desperately in need of repair. Their low priority was parks. How did that get to this point where now it's become a high priority to do? After 16 years ago, when you voted for the FEDC to come in, nothing was done until now. That's my question to the organization here. How will this bring business to the city, a part of the sports complex? And several weeks ago, the citizens petitioned to put an obligation of debt, a petition to put the obligation of debt on the ballot. It's a clear message that we want the voters to determine the city should go into debt to build the sports complex. This council appears to be ignoring the will of the people by getting
Mr.
into
Johaz,
more debt.
that's 1 minute. And just for everybody's information, citizens' input should be addressed with the council, and our potential vendor does not necessarily have to answer any questions. But feel free if you want to, that's totally up to you. Ms. Garza, Diana Garza?
Yes, and I don't need a mic, okay? I just have a question on how this item got put on the agenda, okay? Because in order of appearance, okay, the layout of undisputed facts are that the agenda notice for tonight's meeting was posted Monday, July 23rd at 6 p.m. FEDC had their meeting at 7, yet you still managed to get that for approval on the agenda tonight. How is it that meeting wasn't even held? It almost makes it seem that the outcome was already known. So I'm gonna ask you, Councilman Castillo, Councilman Flores, and Councilman Gomez. Did you know what the outcome was going to be? Because the timeline does not make any sense.
Ms. Garza? The FEDC has supported the project from day one.
No, I'm not questioning the support, I'm questioning how it got put on the agenda.
It got
Before
put
the
on the
meeting
agenda
even
by the
was
city
held.
secretary. That's how it
Huh?
gets put on the agenda.
Before the meeting was even held? FEDC
The
hadn't
meeting
even held
is
their meeting.
tonight. The meeting is right now.
FEDC had their meeting Monday at 7. Agenda for tonight's meeting was posted at
Ms.
6
Garza.
PM on Monday.
FEDC posted their meeting on Friday. That's fine.
I'm not
72
talking about
hours
the
in advance.
FEDC posting, I'm talking about tonight's meeting. Y'all posted it Monday at 6 PM, 72 hours prior to today's meeting.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
If the FEDC would have tabled it or not taken any action or whatever the case may be, then we would have done the same. Our job tonight is to either ratify or deny their vote on Monday. Venice, Grantham?
Grantham, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is the plan? Where are the funds to maintain the facility? How many are you going to employ? And if you feel the citizens are for this project, why don't you put it up for a vote? Because of all the new citizens, residents should have a say-so since, you know, it's been some time ago, 6 years since it was voted on. But we've had a big growth in Floresville and area, and I think those citizens should have a say. Thank you.
I'll answer that. The EDC, the way the ballot is presented to the people in 1996, the only way we can repeal that is go through all the process of our current bond indebtedness. If you want to repeal the 4B tax, that would have to be done after, correct me if I'm wrong, Lou, in order to repeal it and change the way the projects that are going to be done, wouldn't that have to be repealed?
Well, you have to pay off all your existing indebtedness first, and then you have to go back to the voters with a proposition to remove the item or alter the payment under the tax scheme you have now.
But-
It takes an act of equal validity.
Right.
In other words, if the voters vote on it one way, you have to have the voters vote against it to repeal it, after you paid your debt.
Does that make sense?
Well, if that's the way the rules go. That really wasn't,
See, the word sports complex, as Tara read, it was part of the original ballot in 1996. In order for you to take that portion out, you would have to repeal the whole project, the whole process, the whole 4B tax.
I think you asked some valid questions. You asked about who's going to maintain it. We're looking at budgeting in the budget process, people to work on the fields. That's up to next year. It won't be around for a while, but, you know, what we're trying to do is get that ready. The other thing you asked, you know, is you asked, how would it be funded? You know, the last part we had, we put nothing into it. It sat there for 30 years and nothing was put back into it. That's why it's in the state it is. But in the new part, there's going to be some things that are going to create revenue. And that will in turn be able to put back in our parks and keep them up for the next 20 or 25 years.
did I use all my time?
Oh, go ahead, ma'am.
I just wondered, I was in here for a couple meetings, but I wondered if there was anything, decided upon about the existing fields.
Yes, ma'am.
Has there been anything that we're going to do about the existing
Yes, ma'am.
fields?
Yes, ma'am. The discussions have been to renovate the 3 fields down the riverside, actually to stop the erosion on the San Antonio River, fix up the pavilion that's there, fix up those restrooms that are by the road that's leading down to the river, actually put a splash pad, a water splash pad near the pool. Those will be the things that will be done on the city side. More than likely, at some time in the future, that cyclone fence that's in between the 4A property and the city property will be taken away, where it'll look like one big park of about 150 acres. But yes, ma'am, there are plans to fix up those fields. Well, first of all, stop the erosion, and then make those fields, bring them up to par.
And we're actually working with the River Authority with that.
Once it's built, I promise you, the people of Floresville will be proud. And not costing you a penny. Not costing you a single penny to do this.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, I might be talking out in a different world, but I'm gonna ask this question.
Yes, sir.
It's just like the lady said that the city of Floresville is growing,
Yes, sir.
and I think the priorities, I mean, I understand softball fields and other
Yes.
stuff, but isn't that a flood zone?
Down on the riverside, yes, sir. But we're, on the new side, no, sir, it's not.
Okay. Anyway, but my whole question is, what are we doing about high schools, motels, hotels, in case there's a fire? How are we gonna save lives without fire truck and ladders?
Mr. Robles, you were here the other night, when we're actually talking about a ladder truck to put on our city budget. But there's funds that are available for certain projects, like it was mentioned, we could, convention centers, parks, tourist areas, all these things are part of our sales tax. When we go shop at Walmart, that percentage is used for these other things. Police protection, fire protection, that actually comes out of your property taxes.
And I think you were there when we discussed the property taxes.
But, you know, this is not something that's gonna cost the people a single penny. Sales tax, we already pay. If we don't do the project, if we kill the project tonight, your sales tax are not gonna change. If we decide to build, 20 projects like this, your sales tax is not gonna change. The commitment the EDC made is based on what they can afford. It was not based on a project that we say, okay, we need, $10 million to fund this project. It was based on what they could afford and keep on going with the existing projects they have. With the infrastructure along 181, all the motels, new development, new retail coming along, this was based on their financial perspective, what they could afford.
I heard questions about the sewage plant, that's actually being budgeted. We thought, these things are being addressed.
Yeah, and the wastewater, do you remember we talked about a resolution a few weeks ago, USDA, to borrow some funds from USDA. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
I've got a question, sir. I didn't get a timeline out to fill out your thing.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Reading the English, how many resolutions, how many financial agreements, and what debts? According to the Attorney General's handbook for your economic development corporations, you can't take money that you're already paying on. So if you're refinancing your current debt, I think they're violating the handbook. And also, I believe that 1999, the handbook included section 2 that says sports venue, that you must put a resolution out, and you have to tell us on the sports venue, what's it gonna cost, what's the front.
Sir, we're not talking about a sports venue tax. That would be a separate sales tax. And yes, sir, you're correct. We would have to take that to the voters, but it's not a sports venue tax. It's part of your half-cent sales tax that you're already paying. A sports venue tax is totally separate. A sports venue tax is something like you're gonna build a AT&T Center. We're talking about just a park.
It also includes
Lily
parks,
field.
it also includes parks and ball fields,
Right.
and that's what you're doing.
A
But
sports,
you haven't told us how many resolutions, how many financial agreements, and what debts are you restructuring to refinance to pay off?
okay, I believe you were at a meeting, at the EDC meeting that night. There'll be one debt being paid off, which will be the Wells Fargo. There will be a Wells Fargo note. Any other comments before we take a vote? Yes, ma'am.
Mayor and City Council, can you tell me, have you met with any of the Little League committee yet as to planning what specifically needs for improvement out there?
Yes, ma'am. We met with.
Who did you meet with?
We've met with, the Wildcats, the Little League, the football, the soccer teams. We, if you recall, we hired John Longoria a few months ago, and he did the needs assessment.
Okay, because I spoke to someone recently, and they led me to believe that no one has met with them yet as to specifics and how things were going to be planned and timeline and what was to be scheduled for the time that there would scheduling, so I was just curious who you had already spoken to. Also,
Wayne Hopkins and Garris Herndon,
And,
I don't know, from the Wildcats and Soccer Association.
as a matter of fact.
when did you meet with Hopkins and Garris?
They met, what, last year sometime, it was,
Last year.
No, I'm talking recently, since all of this has come
I
about. Have
called
you met
Wayne
with him?
Hopkins last night,
yeah.
yesterday. I called Wayne Hopkins last night,
And
or
you
the day
spoke to him?
before, I spoke to Wayne Hopkins.
And
I
you
spoke- I
two
told him-
sat down as to what was, and spoke about what
I
was
haven't
needed?
spoke about any of that, because it's not.
As far as scheduling, we're not at the point of scheduling.
I'm sorry, I can only understand one at a time.
Until it's done, I spoke to, these groups were brought in last year, September.
No, I'm talking very
Give me a
recent.
second, let me just give me a second. I talked to these groups last year. Okay, all these groups brought what they needed, what they were looking for, what was, I mean, each association came. They give us a wish list. That wish list is still here. The only thing is things have changed
Significantly.
in baseball. The parameters have changed as far as having certain tournament plate on certain fields. So those are being looked at. When I talked to Wayne yesterday or the day before, I said, hey, check this out. This is what's happening. This is where we're headed. And he said, well, you know, when it's done, if it's done, we'll get back together. We're getting ready to become, you look down here, there's going to be a committee formed. And that committee is going to bring people in to give their take of what they need, what's being looked at, and what we can do to actually have these fields ready for play or not play if it doesn't happen.
Okay.
There is no finalized plan yet, and as far as scheduling, I think we're a little bit away from that still.
Okay, significant things have changed since a year ago, so it's really critical that you get with these groups prior to going into any of this and planning. Legal.
The population change has not made a big difference in 1 year. That's what we've talked with.
Erosion, improvements, what they have and haven't done, what's been fixed and what hasn't been fixed, it is significant in the past year. And how they're going forward, it is critical if you're doing improvements out there that you meet with those that are using it every day, or at least 3 times out of the week. So I would just encourage you to please meet with them before you go forward with this, if indeed you're doing improvements to that area. Whether it's in the law or it isn't, good planning is that I would think that if we're using this kind of money, that everybody, even though you're saying we're not paying or you're not charging us any money, anything we buy is sales tax, and that is our money.
I agree.
It seems to me that you would have out to the public by now some plan of action of what this looks like. What I'm confused about, Mayor, is sometimes I hear, oh yeah, we're going forward, here's this resolution, we're doing the agreement with the bank, we're doing all this stuff, and then the next breath is, well, we really haven't gotten there yet, we really don't know yet where we're going, we don't have a plan yet. If we're this far along, we've got to have a plan, and if
I
there's
don't
a
think you've
plan,
heard that from
where is
me
it?
or any of this council member.
Yeah, I have. So where is the plan, and will we see it prior to any of this going forward?
Yes.
And can you give me a date when that would be?
Uh,
Where it will be public?
It's an EDC project, so I'll have to let Sarah or Mr. Gonzalez answer that question.
Can they?
Sarah, do you want to say anything? We're still in the designing phase, Monica, and we don't know what the erosion's going to cost us to fix that. That'll be, I think, one of the priorities is fixing the erosion and saving the fields down on the city side. And then from there, we know what the needs are. We know that we need probably like 5 or 6 baseball fields. We need at least 1 football field.
And have we paid the money to the school yet?
I
$200,000?
believe that's scheduled for sometime this summer.
It's in the budget.
Yes.
Do we know when?
I don't know when the check will be
When
sent.
I spoke to Jesse, he said in August.
In August?
And then, when I spoke with him on Monday, and he said that wasn't a debt, that was just something they offered to the school. So, either way, when you say you're gonna pay.
I was going to say, it's a commitment, verbal or otherwise, and it needs to be taken care of. Thank you.
I'm going to ask Mr. Gonzalez or Ms. Mendoza if they want to say anything from behalf of the EDC. You want to say anything?
We had a meeting Monday, and
approved this unanimously, but yet he said without a plan. And that kind of threw me off. So, go out and try to get $2.1 million, not having a plan. That's just odd to me. Also, I think we had discussed in the past that whenever an item of this magnitude, that we would have it as a discussion item first to give the public an idea of what we're trying to do and have them come up with suggestions and for us to also come up with questions. I'm one not to think quickly. Okay, I like to look at things and then come back and say, ask a question. Because I know as you have also, sometimes you come back a day or two later and you say, gosh, I should have asked them this or I should. So I would have wished that this would have been put on as a discussion. Because to me, being here, it seems like they just had a meeting on Monday and here we're voting it on Thursday. It's like a rush deal. And I don't know.
John, we've been, go ahead.
I don't know how the rest of the council feels, but I don't like to rush into things.
John, we've been talking about it for at least a year.
No,
At least 1 year.
No, but I'm talking about,
We also
okay,
had a petition to say
first
that
we're going through, the petition. I don't know whatever happened to the petition. This is different now.
But it's all the same project.
Same project, but different ways of paying for it.
All right, is there a motion on the floor?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I move to ratify the resolution authorizing financing agreement with Government Capital Corporation to refinance the debt and for the enhancement and/or expansion of parks and sports facilities for the city of Floresville as agreed and negotiated by the Floresville Economic Development Corporation.
Motion by Castillo, is there a second?
I second that.
Second by Gomez, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 3-1.
Point of order. She said resolution and not resolution.
Thank you. Item 4C, consideration and action to appoint members of the Floresville Event Center. Do we have any first of all, I believe there's one vacancy?
There's one vacancy.
Okay. I think it's important that we advertise and make it known that we have a vacancy on the 4A board.
I have
And
a
with-
couple names, I'll go and have them fill out forms.
And with the recent audit findings, I would really like to see this 4A board as a managing board. I don't know how the rest of the council feels, but I'd really like to see the 4A corporation board as the managing board of a building.
They have, for some purpose, otherwise they won't stay. They feel that they're just taking up space. There's nothing to say.
I'd like to see the 4A board run like the 4P board, the FEDC board. So what do we have a motion to table this for now?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we table to appoint members to the Floresville Event Center Committee.
Motion by Castillo, second by Gomez to table. All in favor say aye. Consideration and action to appoint members of the Floresville Parks Foundation. With the vote that we just took, the Floresville Parks Foundation will be very important to the future of our parks. And really, that's where we would need volunteers to help raise funds for the parks. People who are creative in marketing, financing, like you mentioned, Joanne, Juhas. So,
Mayor, may I ask a question? The sales tax that has been collected for all this number of years to put towards the park, what has been done with it? Because it wasn't utilized to maintain the erosion and so forth of what's gone on in the city park. What's happened?
I can't answer what's happened, there's been a lot of progress in Florida in the last few years. A lot of the money has been spent on infrastructure. Along 181, we found that there was no sewer on, for La Quinta, that area. We spent money there. We also went to the north with, towards Walmart for their infrastructure. Some of those projects are not, those are $400,000 or $500,000 projects.
And if I may,
Yes, sir.
since the city council answered everybody else's questions, no one answered mine.
What is it?
Because
wastewater is being done. I think that's the contention of most of the people in the audience has been the wastewater. You've probably been here in the audience where we've talked about the resolution for the USDA. The plan of action is to have that expansion done by 2014.
So that is a priority.
That's our main priority. Our wastewater system is our main priority.
You mentioned streets. The streets actually have a bulk, I think we were just in the budget meeting this last week, and there's actually been an increase in our, and again, I won't go into detail or give you monies, but the monies have increased, and those, we have monies in for street maintenance. And that's how we get it, through the same way that we get any other EDC money. There, it's a sales tax. You do the same thing with streets.
The street maintenance tax, which is paid through your sales tax, generates right now about $250,000 a year, which is the same amount that is paid for the event center. The FEDC is double that, so it's about $500,000. But that continues to grow. But yes, sir, our priority has been the wastewater system. We know because of the expanding population, more businesses coming in, more development, that is our main priority.
The water model is actually one of the things that's going to probably help us get there, which we are actually negotiating in budget.
I assure you that, Mr. Uhas, that is our main priority is the wastewater.
And the other question I had was, how does this park generate more business for the city, since EDC's charter is to develop more business for the city?
It's also part of quality of life. Quality of life issues,
2.1 million, I had a lot of quality of life.
Well, when we talk about sports facilities, we think that $2.1 million is an exuberant amount of money for a park. But when you talk about one baseball field costing about $250,000, we're not talking about a lot of money. We're talking about just a Little League field with some lights and irrigation. We're not talking about any type of fancy complex. Just filling the needs. I mentioned several times that during our Little League season, you would see these temporary construction fences out there to play ball. I'm sure the Little League Association and the football associations want to attract tournaments here into our town. They will stay at our motels, they will eat at our restaurants, they will shop at our stores, which will in turn generate sales tax.
And it's intangibles that people don't
Fixing
realize.
the ball fields has nothing to do with putting in a splash pad.
No, that will be a revenue
So
generator.
that,
That'll be a revenue generator. That won't be
so
for
you're gonna
free.
charge the citizens of Floresville to use a splash pad.
Just
Yeah.
Like
we
with
do
pool,
swimming pool.
just like we do our pool.
No different.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that we keep talking about this 2.1, but you also mentioned a while ago that they were going to first pay a Wells Fargo debt. How much is that debt? So what actual really money
That's a
is that?
separate, it'll be refinanced.
So it's not going to be paid off at 2.1?
That's not added to the 2.1 million.
And the 2.1 is what it costs to build this proposed complex, or is just a portion
No,
of the
like I
money?
said, we backed up into it. We knew what we could afford, what the EDC could afford,
Okay,
and that's what the number came up with.
so that's all the money we're going to spend on it?
Yes, we
Nothing
have
else?
to.
And that doesn't include what we need to do as far as resources out there too. That's actually included.
But hopefully, we can get some community support that we don't have to spend the 2.1. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
we have an agenda here.
I'm sorry, go ahead. We're talking about the Parks Foundation. Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
Can we
We have,
advertise?
any names for that, by chance?
I'm sorry I got off track, but I really want everybody to understand what's going on as far as sales tax versus property tax and the projects that we can do with sales tax.
If I can, have George Randall fill out some forms on that Parks and Rec, George, if you don't mind. Do we have forms?
May I?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Because we're starting from scratch, and that's a good idea, Councilman Collins, but we're starting from scratch on this foundation. We're starting with new members. And we have not had an opportunity to even have anyone fill out any applications. So this is the beginning. So if you need an application, they're on the website. Or our city secretary can provide them for you. And also,
Who can serve? What are the limitations?
well, we need the,
skills and experience that's needed to comply and to fill those positions. So that's what we're gonna be looking at. So I think that what we may want to do is set a deadline for those applications so that we can look at all of them at the same time and decide who has the greater skills to serve on the board.
How many are you looking at right now?
That would be my suggestion.
Is it 7, 5? I'm not sure.
Well, we have 7 right now, but my recommendation would
We
be to
don't have
change
7.
that to 5.
You have
might be
1.
a better number.
There's only 1 member on that board at this moment.
Okay,
Seven.
it is part of the foundation,
7?
part of the bylaw.
We have 7 now, is that right?
No, it's part
No,
of,
we don't have any right now.
You have 1.
1, George
Probably-
Ramsdale.
No, he has not been, he has not
but
filled out
I
an
filled out my
application.
application months ago.
Okay, okay.
And you had a prior one that I'm sure y'all bumped off, so that's okay.
Well, and all
My
those
husband.
councils will look at those applications and approve each one. Isn't that a process?
Okay. What is the recommendation of the council or the wishes of the
The
council?
recommendation is that we table this one until we get applications.
Okay.
I second.
Table it to appoint members to the Floresville Park Foundation.
I second.
Motion by Castillo and I believe Gomez seconded. Okay, motion by Castillo, second by Gomez to table item 4D. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Okay, presentation of proposed budget, fiscal year 2013, and formal filing with the city secretary. Do we have the proposed budget in front of us?
Yes.
Okay.
We have it, we got it last week.
Okay.
Proposed.
We're here tonight just to present formally the proposed budget in the same form that we reviewed on Tuesday night. So this is exactly the same document that we all reviewed on Tuesday night. And it's my understanding that it needs to be formally presented to the city secretary to comply with your city charter. So I'd like to present that to the city secretary as required. Thank you. And I guess I understand the process will be that the council will take that, and if there are additions to be made, that will be occur in further workshops.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, the one other item is because we do have a website, it should appear on the website also, and I'd ask that we make that part of the record, that we are going to put it on the website.
Okay.
Yes, I was free, thank you.
Please note that as part of our minutes. Okay, any questions, any discussion, council?
How long are we going to discuss some of the budget items or not? Unless that's the beginning of the presentation.
Probably not, it's a skeleton budget, we did it because we had to present a budget before the 60 days prior.
Did you finish?
That's a presentation.
Yeah, it's a presentation, there's still a lot of work to be done on the budget. If there's no further business, we can.
Mr. Mayor.
George,
Still
I
have-
never got called.
Yeah, on 1002 6th Street, George?
No.
Sorry, sir?
For the other,
No, that wasn't
That's
it.
another address.
you decided the address.
We'll have to put it on another agenda for that specific lot that you're talking
Well,
about.
they told me to come under citizens input.
Yeah, but on 1002 6th Street.
No, no, no. No, no, no. No, I live at 926 6th Street. I have a neighbor on 936th Street, which is Daniel and Janie Rodriguez. They never mow the lot. Same thing, I've been asking Cindy, I've been asking Andy, I've been asking Cherry. And I think that Cindy sent her a letter because Cindy told me, Mrs. Rodriguez came in and said she couldn't mow it because she needed a tractor. The weeds are 6 foot tall. Cindy went again and looked at it because she told me, yes, they did mow it. They only mow the front, yet Mrs. Rodriguez rents that lot. They make money. I came in Tuesday to get a copy of the ordinance, and Monica, the clerk, told me, Ms. Rodriguez came and said, I'm not gonna mow it. It's a tenant's responsibility. Yet in the ordinance, it says, section 9217, that someone goes and inspects it, then they get with the owner, they write them a letter, and they have 10 days to do something. Sherry told me yesterday, Tuesday, it took 90 days, and then we've got to give them another 90 days. The ordinance doesn't say that. Yet, it's been going on 3.5 months. Ms. Rodriguez knows about it, but doesn't do anything.
Can I ask you to come in tomorrow, George, to talk to our city manager about that?
I've talked to him twice already, sir. And I've talked to Sherry and I've talked to Cindy, and nothing gets done. And again, I mean, so I'm just getting bounced back and forth and nothing gets done. And like I say, the owner has physically come and said, I'm not gonna mow it, I need a tractor. That's not my problem. The city's ordinance says they have to do it within 10 days.
It's not on the agenda, George, and my attorney is telling us to stop, so, but let's talk after the meeting. Meeting's adjourned at 8:12.